30-day challenges. They're everywhere here on YouTube. Workout challenges, morning routine challenges, 30-day art challenges, and of course all the wonderful experiments by the master of trying out things for 30 days, Matt D'Avella. This guy has done them all, from quitting caffeine, journaling, quitting sugar, being a dad. Well, I hope he kept up with that one. Using a flip phone and taking cold showers for 30 days. And seeing as chilling your skin by having cold water patter on it has evidently resulted in something, according to his facial expression in the thumbnail, I decided to take cold showers from now on to improve my photography. I'm just kidding, of course. By the way, I love Matt D'Avella, I'm just joking around here. But this video is actually about 30-day challenges. However, instead of cold showers, I took on a 30-day film photography challenge. And in this video, I want to show you how I miserably failed at first, but did better on my second attempt, and how this practice has, in a way, changed my photography. The only guilty I find. As photographers, we all have different ways of shooting and adding to our collection of photography. Some like to go on a trip on the weekend and have photography as their focus. Others simply happen to walk their dog through the most epic looking landscapes all the time and collect some beautiful pieces while they're at it. Me, on the other hand, I do it somehow, somewhere, somewhen. I don't really know. Oftentimes I like to plan something out, other times I explicitly go to a specific location to spend some time there, and something I love, which I think is probably the most basic thing here, is shooting while traveling. I mean, obviously, wrecking my neck with my camera dangling down from it all the time is worth it. However, you must know I spent the majority of my time here, on this chair, recording voiceovers. Well, no, that doesn't take that long, but you know, all the other stuff, editing and writing and all that. And so I often find myself busy working on my video projects, and then once I'm done with something, it's dark and not so inviting to shoot, or I simply don't have the energy left. And that is not where I want to be as a photographer. I want to be more active and shoot more, and so I decided to do another 30-day photography challenge. I've done multiple of these in the past, sometimes to simply revamp my photographic activity, and sometimes to push myself in a certain genre or theme. This time, I decided to do both, and so I tried myself at a 30-day still life photography challenge. Still life photography is really cool in my opinion. It can be a thorough study of lighting and shapes and colours in a controlled environment. You can keep it simple or become increasingly creative, and they tie in pretty nicely with my love for photography and home, which, as you might know, is a type of photography that I am very fond of, because I think it's so interesting to see a little bit of a place that someone calls their home. It can be very personal. Anyway, I've been thinking of trying to practice some still life photography for a while for those reasons, but hadn't gotten around to it yet, and so I bravely made it the theme of my 30-day challenge. I say bravely because that is quite a tough challenge. And that turned out to be my mistake. Here are my photos from the 30-day still life photography challenge. Yeah, that's it. I didn't get further than that. I completed a miserable 10%, and I think the reason is actually quite evident in the photographs themselves, so let's have a closer look. So the first shot is of my 3 pots I placed on the floor here. I didn't put them here for the photo actually, I just needed them to sit in the sun to boost their growth. On the first day of my challenge, I noticed how pretty the pots looked in the sunshine, casting their long shade across the floor, and so I decided that this is going to be my first shot. The second photograph is of the little cupboard next to my desk where I usually keep those pots. I only move them when the sun is too high. I personally really like this corner of my room, and so I shot this. And lastly, this photo that pictures a little bit of the mess that I make when recording a new video. This is my aux extension cable, my ND filter case, and a couple of other things lit by the warm lamp on the table. So especially these 2 photos just look like a lazy photo that I did at night because I hadn't shot a still life yet all day long, and so this was the best I could come up with. And that is because that is pretty much what they are. They neatly summarise my problem here. I couldn't commit to a 30-day still life challenge. I don't even know if these count as still lifes. And so I had to rethink my strategy. I'm very busy already with all the work I'm doing, and after these 3 shots, I noticed that I do not have the energy or discipline to pour through a challenge like this in an effective manner on the side. And so instead of wasting the rest of the roll, I decided to stop and reassess. What I realised that I needed to change was to simplify the task even more, give myself more space and freedom, basically make the challenge easier. Making the challenge easier sounds a bit like a cop-out, but when you think about it, it's not that bad of an idea, because I believe it's better to make the challenge easier and then pull through with it than aim high and fail. Thus, I decided to begin a new role for a new challenge. This time, I kept it simple. All I wanted to achieve was to shoot at least one photograph per day. That's all. So what happened to the role that I began the Still Life challenge with? Well, conveniently, Melly and I decided to go on a day trip to Bregenz, and so I decided to shoot that role on that day. So, wasn't a bad day, I'd say. Some highlights for me were this photograph and this one, which I both showed you in my recent video looking back at this year's photography. Some photos I'm also very fond of, which I however did not include in the video, are this one. I love the colour contrast and the slight motion blur. And this one of the chess game. I like these types of photos that have some action. I find them really hard to get, but when I do, I'm happy about it. This also is a nice characterization of Bregenz, showing one of the many aspects of this town and the people. So back to the challenge. Here is photo number 1. I know, nothing special, but that was kind of the point of the challenge. Better one mediocre photo than none at all. It's about the act of practicing. Photo number 2, on the other hand, I actually like a lot. I just enjoy the look of the houses and this garden here. The chairs and the small pot next to the window are kind of cute. This is photo number 6 that I shot when visiting my family. I was just wandering around and then passed this window, which was so beautifully glowing up that I was immediately tempted to shoot. I love the various little elements of this photograph that add character to the room, such as the cactus and its watering can, or the yellow towel. Also, I love how the bottom left corner is filled with the blue blanket over the bed. Here's photo number 7, which is a little corner of light I found in the room where I always stay when I visit my family. When I'm not around, this room is actually more like a little sewing studio of my mum's, and so there's often stuff lying around. That is exactly the kind of stuff that gives a scene character and has the potential to tell a story, and seeing as this part of the table was so beautifully lit by the low sun, I just had to take my chance, and I really like the result. Then, before we continue, I want to briefly talk about the lovely people at Squarespace who are currently sponsoring this video. Squarespace is a great all-in-one website platform that we photographers can use to make our website. I've been using Squarespace for about 3 or so years for my portfolio, and that is where I present the different projects I've worked on or am currently working on, ranging from short films to photography projects. So here you can look through my work with a little thumbnail and then click see more if you want to know the details, where I've either placed the finished work or it says something like work in progress. What's great about Squarespace, in my opinion, is the user interface, because someone like me who doesn't have much experience with website building can use Squarespace rather easily without needing to watch hours upon hours of tutorials. It's pretty self-explanatory. You can start off with one of their many templates and then customize those to fit your own needs and taste. Head to squarespace.com for a 14-day free trial, and then when you're ready to launch your website, you can go to squarespace.com/Crawford to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Thank you so much to Squarespace for supporting me in my work here. I really appreciate it. Photo number 9 is another house front I found and really enjoyed. I love all the greenery they've integrated here and the super cute little number plate. And then photo number 10 is a sudden change of scenery, which you might recognize because I shot this photograph while shooting the video of me trying my first roll of Fuji Velvia 100. This is a really cool photo I find because it's a simple documentation of the main event that happened on that day, and it tells the story of what I was up to. This is a photograph I shot from the window of a local library in town where I bought this map that I needed for this video. While looking for the right map, I spotted this opportunity to shoot this photo. This is photo number 18, which I shot while passing this cafe with a lot of people sitting outside. I thought I ought to photograph this scene to capture the lively yet relaxed atmosphere. Photo number 20 is reminiscent of the lazy photos at home when I didn't manage to shoot anything. Well, this kind of is a situation like that. The photographs picture my table where I was writing the Patreon postcards for that month. Photo number 25 is this view onto a market from above. This is a market inside a mall, and I thought this perspective could result in an interesting shot, which I think it did. However, the lighting is so off-putting in my opinion, it just doesn't look good. So yeah, that's a pity. I made an old man. I said, tell me your story. Got an old pen and wrote something for me. This is a photograph that was shot in a shop for Asian goods where I like to buy my soy sauce and some miso and stuff like that. Sadly, it's a bit underexposed, but I still like it a lot. It's a bit busy, but in a good way, full of details. I thought I'd just seen a ghost. Then I looked down at what he wrote. It said, son, when you grow up you'll be fine. And this is the last photograph from that roll. I walked through an industrial area where I came across these plastic bags filled with rubbish that had yet to be taken away. I was really fond of the textures with the drops of rainwater on the bags that were transparent, and so the contents of the bags enhanced the textures and shapes even more. As you might have noticed already, this was a 30-day challenge, yet this is photo 39. That is because this challenge did exactly what I was kind of hoping that it would. I wasn't very strict with my 30-day challenge in the sense that I only shot one photo on this roll every day. Some days were boring and so I really only shot one photograph, however others had some more action which led to multiple shots. In fact, I'm not sure whether 30 days had actually passed once I finished the roll. However, that doesn't really matter because right after I popped in the next roll and continued to shoot consistently. Shooting consistently is exactly what I was hoping to regain by doing this. I don't really see the point in doing a 30-day photography challenge just to thereafter revert to shooting barely anything again. Instead, this was an exercise to sort of warm me up again after some time and bring me back into the state of mind of being more conscious of the many photo opportunities that exist. The biggest difference in my behavior is that every time I leave the apartment, I think of taking my camera with me, which of course for a photographer should be the norm, but I also think that it is absolutely normal to lose track sometimes, especially when concentrating on other things. And so the outcome of this challenge is that I've sort of reactivated my photographic mind to be more aware of every chance that I could come across to shoot a memorable photo. This, by the way, is based on my belief that by simply photographing more, I'm drastically increasing my chance to shoot good photos. Of course, many mediocre and bad ones will be shot as well, but that is all part of the process. So if you feel like you've been a bit less active than you'd like to be, I hope this video can maybe inspire you to do some challenge, in a similarly unstrict manner possibly, whatever suits you. The intention being that you simply shoot again. So that's it for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. Before saying goodbye, I would like to give a warm thank you to the lovely people supporting me and my work on Patreon. Thank you to each one of you. If you're interested in Lightroom presets, tutorials, or postcards, you can check out my page via the link in the description. Also, I have a print drop, by the way, in case that is of interest to you, also in the description. With that said, I hope to see you again soon. Until then, goodbye.